52-year-old murder case in Vermont. State police say William DeRoos killed Rita Curran.
What if a killer lived right next door for decades, undetected?
15 years after murdering Rita.
I don't think so much about the guy who did this.
These disturbing cold cases were finally solved this year, but the truth is more chilling than fiction. Don't miss a single detail. Case number 1, Rita Curran. In summer 1971, a young woman was found lifeless in her Burlington, Vermont apartment. She was just 24 years old. That night, her roommate Beverly returned home late and discovered a horrifying scene. The woman lay motionless on the floor, her face bruised and bloodied. Her clothes were torn, and signs of a violent struggle were everywhere. The police were called at 1:30 a.m. Medical examiners reported severe injuries, including hair ripped from her scalp and bruises across her body. The official cause of death was manual strangulation. The attack was brutal, and the evidence suggested something even more disturbing. Investigators quickly questioned the 3 roommates, Beverly, Paul, and Carrie. They had been out that night, and when they returned at 12:30 a.m., they saw nothing unusual. The only clue: a Lark brand cigarette butt found near the victim's elbow. None of the roommates smoked. Detectives interviewed neighbors, hoping someone had heard something. Most said they hadn't, but one man, William, who lived on the 3rd floor, was questioned multiple times. He and his wife insisted they were home all night. Police had no reason to suspect him. Yet, years passed. The case turned cold. Then, in 2019, detectives reopened it. They believed the killer knew the victim's schedule. He had just 1 hour to strike before her roommates returned. Suspicion fell again on William, who had never been properly investigated. In 2022, forensic experts tested DNA from the cigarette butt. A match appeared. William. He had died in 1986, making justice impossible. His ex-wife later admitted that on the night of the murder, he had left their apartment after an argument. When he returned, she couldn't recall what time it was. After 50 years, the mystery was finally solved. Case number 2, Amor Wiggins. On January 28, 2012, a woman was tending her backyard in Opelika, Alabama, when she found something shocking: a human skull. She ran in fear and called the police. Authorities arrived quickly, and after searching the area, found more remains. Among them was a pink long-sleeve shirt with heart buttons and ruffles. Investigators determined the remains belonged to a 4 to 7-year-old girl. Her bones showed fractures, some healing and some fresh, proving she had suffered from abuse. She was also malnourished, and her left eye had a deformity. Despite all efforts, no missing child report matched her description. People called her Opelika Jane Doe. In 2016, a teacher from a vacation Bible school remembered a little girl who attended in 2011. She was quiet, had dirty clothes, messy hair, and seemed isolated. The church was only 10 minutes away from where the remains were found, but there were no records of her name. The case went cold again. In 2022, new forensic technology helped police build a DNA profile. A geneticist who worked on solving major cases was brought in. The first breakthrough came when investigators identified the child's name: Amor Wiggins. From there, they found her father, a man serving in the U.S. Navy. When questioned, he refused to cooperate. His wife also claimed she knew nothing, but deeper investigations proved she was lying. The mother was found. She had been sending child support payments since 2009, unaware her daughter had been missing for years. Further investigation revealed a chilling truth. Amor was never enrolled in any school, and her father never reported her missing. In 2023, police arrested him for murder and his wife for failing to report a missing child. Justice came, but it was too late. The little girl who had been forgotten for so long had finally been named, but the world would never know the pain she endured. Case number 3, Brad Bellino. It was a Friday afternoon in April 1972 when a 12-year-old boy went out with his best friend. They had no school due to the upcoming Easter holiday. After spending the day roaming around, they decided to go back to the friend's house. Usually, he would be driven home by his friend's parents, but that night, both were busy. Knowing his own parents wouldn't be home for a while, he decided to walk back alone. It was around 7:30 p.m. and the walk was over 3 miles long. That was the last time he was seen alive. He was known for being adventurous, but also punctual. When he didn't return home, his family immediately feared something was wrong. Days passed with no sign of him. Then, on April 4, a shocking discovery was made. A dumpster behind a dairy store, just 2 miles from his friend's house, held a horrible secret. His body was found covered in cardboard and trash. His striped pants were pulled down, a belt tightly fastened around his neck. The medical examiner confirmed the worst. He had been strangled, but there was more. Evidence showed he had been held captive for over 24 hours before his death. This meant that after leaving his friend's house, someone took him, kept him alive for a day, and then ended his life in a brutal way. His best friend remembered something odd from that day. A brown van had followed them multiple times. At first, they thought it was a coincidence. But soon, fear crept in. That was why they went home early. Could the van have something to do with his disappearance? For over 50 years, the case remained unsolved. No suspects, no answers. Until now. In 2023, forensic experts used advanced DNA testing to trace the culprit. They found a 98% match to a truck driver who had worked for a bottled water company. His name had never been connected to the case before. But there was one problem. The suspect had already died in 2019. His body was cremated, leaving no way to test further. Yet, based on the overwhelming DNA evidence, investigators were certain he was the one responsible. A tragic case finally solved. But too late for justice. Case number 4. Sharon Anschutz. On June 5, 2000, a customer entered a dry cleaner shop in South Carolina. The shop was silent. He waited, but no one came. Stepping behind the counter, he saw a body on the floor, blood spreading around. Police arrived within minutes. Sharon, a mother of 4, lay lifeless. The cash register was open, all the money gone. Investigators searched for clues, but no one had seen anything suspicious. Days passed, calls came in, but no real leads. The case went cold. In 2022, a sheriff reopened the case. Using modern technology, they reanalyzed fingerprints from the cash register. Among them was an unidentified print. Investigators revisited old witnesses and spoke to new ones. A name surfaced: Roger. Locals recalled Roger doing odd jobs, sometimes taking out trash at the dry cleaner. But he had died in 2008. Police believed he planned a robbery, but something went wrong. Sharon was shot in the back. In January 2023, investigators confirmed Roger as the suspect. The truth was finally revealed, but justice came too late. Case number 5. Carol Joyce DeLeon. On the night of June 3, 1981, she went out with friends to a nightclub. The next morning, June 4, a passerby found a young woman's nude body near Interstate 35. Her clothes were pulled over her head, and she had been shot 6 times in the head. The body also had severe bruising around the neck. At first, police couldn't identify her. They scraped DNA from under her fingernails, but found no matches. She was buried as Jane Doe in New Braunfels. Almost 30 years later, in 2009, a breakthrough came. Authorities released her photos, and her family recognized her. To confirm, they provided DNA samples, and finally, she was identified as Carol Joyce DeLeon. For years, there were no leads. Then, in 2010, a new lab generated a DNA profile from her remains. It showed the suspect was male, but his identity remained unknown. In 2020, forensic experts ran another genealogy test, which narrowed the search to 3 suspects. One of them was Larry Allen West. In 2021, police tracked Larry down at his workplace. When asked for a DNA sample, he agreed. The test results confirmed a match. He was arrested and held at Bexar County Jail with a $125,000 bond. During questioning, Larry denied everything. He said he never met Carol, but police dug into his past and spoke to his ex-wife. She revealed that Larry was violent and abusive. She was only married to him for 30 days before escaping. Carol's family wanted justice. Her sister, Sandra, said, "This is his chance to confess before leaving this world." But despite the DNA match, Larry posted bail and walked free. His trial was set for the following month. He continued to deny everything. The case, once cold for decades, had finally reached a courtroom. But would justice be served? You won't believe the dark secrets some towns hide. Our next video, the small town that hid a dark secret for years, uncovers a chilling mystery you can't afford to miss. Subscribe now and turn on notifications, because the truth waits for no one.